Right after the launch of the Galaxy S26 series, Samsung isn't slowing down. They're about to drop something way bigger than expected. Because according to a fresh report, Samsung is preparing not one, not two, but three foldable phones this year. And yes, this is clearly a direct move against Apple's upcoming foldable iPhone. Now here's where things get serious. A new leak suggests Samsung's next Galaxy Unpacked event is locked for July 22nd, 2026 in London. And that's where we'll see the Galaxy Z Fold 8, the Galaxy Z Fold 8, and something completely new, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide. Yeah, a wider fold, something users have been asking for years. This new model is expected to feature a 4:3 aspect ratio display, making it feel less like a narrow phone and more like a true mini tablet. And here's the crazy part. Samsung might finally be eliminating the crease. At CES 2026, they already showed a crease-free foldable OLED panel, and now it looks like it's actually happening. But it gets even more interesting. Early firmware leaks have revealed animations and screen assets showing a device that looks completely different from current Fold models. We're talking about a much wider shape, with an estimated aspect ratio around 1.3 to 1, way different from the almost square design we have today. And there's more proof. File names inside the firmware include the codename H8, which has already been linked to Samsung's Wide Fold project. Now, let's go deeper. A brand new model number, SMF977, just showed up in certification databases. And if you know Samsung's naming strategy, F almost always means a fold device. So yeah, this could be the Fold 8 Wide. Battery details also leaked, showing a dual cell setup that could total around 5,000 milliamp hours, which means better battery life finally. But here's something a lot of people might not like. Samsung is reportedly sticking with its older M13 OLED material for these foldables, even though newer tech already exists. Why? To reduce costs and improve efficiency over time. But it also means these next-gen foldables are still using display tech from a few years ago. Early One UI 9 firmware is already circulating, and during a deep dive, the team at Android Authority discovered something interesting, a new on-screen warning system that detects when your phone isn't folded properly. The feature is reportedly called foreign material detection. If the device senses resistance while closing, it triggers an alert. One message reads, "Phone not fully folded." The full prompt explains that the device didn't close correctly, likely due to debris or a foreign object. It even advises users to reopen the phone and check the display area to avoid potential screen damage. And here's the smart part. If you find the alert unnecessary, you can disable it in settings. That balance between protection and user control feels very Samsung. Leakers found images showing a 4:3 aspect ratio. Do you know what else is 4:3? An iPad, a magazine, a sheet of paper. Samsung just stopped trying to make a tall tablet. They're making a real tablet that folds in half. And here's where it gets juicy. Samsung isn't doing this in a vacuum. Apple has been rumored for years to be working on a foldable iPhone, and every single leak says the same thing. When Apple's foldable opens up, it will be 4:3. So let me read this back to you. Samsung is launching a 4:3 foldable in July 2026. Apple is rumored to launch a 4:3 foldable later in 2026. Samsung just looked at Apple's secret playbook and said, "Cool, we'll ship it first." That is not competition. That is theft in broad daylight, and I am absolutely here for it. But wait, this is where things get crazy, because the Wide Fold isn't alone. Samsung is launching 3 foldables this year: the Flip 8, the Fold 8, and this Wide Fold. The Flip 8 is for the TikTok crowd. The Fold 8 is for the business guys who still answer emails on a Tuesday morning. But the Wide Fold, this is for everyone who has ever said, "I wish my iPad could fit in my pocket." And here's the kicker. The same firmware leak mentions something else. The Z Fold 8 and the Wide Fold will feature nearly crease-free displays. We've heard that promise before, I know. We've been burned. But the rumor mill says this time it's real. New hinge, new ultra-thin glass, no visible line down the middle. Imagine watching a movie on a 4x3 screen with no crease. It just looks like one solid slab of glass. That is the dream Samsung has been chasing for 6 generations, and it might finally be here. Over the past few days, 2 sets of CAD renders have surfaced. First, the standard Fold 8, then shortly after, the wide version showed up. These aren't official renders, but they're based on leaked dimensions turned into 3D models, so the design might not be perfect, but the size and proportions should be pretty close. Now here's the main question. What actually makes the wide version different? At first, it sounds confusing. The wide version actually has smaller screen sizes on paper, around 7.6 inches inside and 5.4 outside, while the regular Fold 8 is bigger, with around 8 inches inside and 6.5 outside. So naturally, you'd expect the wide to feel smaller. But that's not really what's happening. When you look at the comparison images, it becomes way clearer. The standard Fold 8 looks taller, while the wide version looks more stretched out. And that's because it is. The regular Fold 8 sticks to that tall, narrow design, but the wide version goes shorter and wider. At first glance, the difference isn't obvious, but the moment you rotate it sideways, it just makes sense. The screen feels more horizontal, even wider than the regular Fold is tall. And that changes everything. Because this isn't about having more screen, it's about using it differently. A wider layout could feel better for multitasking, better for reading, and way better for watching content without everything feeling cramped. It's still unclear how Apple will design its rear cameras. If Apple goes with a horizontal layout, things might look different. But if they choose a vertical layout like the base iPhone 17, then the designs of the Fold Wide and the foldable iPhone could end up looking quite similar. So what would set them apart? Most likely the shape of the corners.